shooters, my name is James Towle. Welcome back to the American Trigger Sports Network. We are here at the 2010 Sporting Clays Championship in San Antonio, Texas, and I have got Andy Duffy standing just off to the side, and I got a show for you. Don't go away. Hi, shooters. I've got Andy Duffy with me, and we've spoken to him a couple of times here at Nationals, and I have something to share with you. Andy took some time out of his schedule at the Zone 7 to take our Gretchen Martin, who's never fired a shotgun. I'm not even sure she's fired a gun before. And Andy took time out of his schedule to introduce her to sporting clays and shooting a shotgun. Let's go look at that first, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to Andy.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Martin. I'm here with Andy Duffy, the only three-time NSCA National Champion in the world. And I have the privilege of getting a shooting lesson with him. Where do we start?
Yeah, okay.
Where do we start?
Well, the first thing anybody needs to know when they start shooting a shotgun, it's a very important thing to know which is your master eye. Now, master eye is a lot like being right or left-handed. If you're right-handed, it's the left hemisphere of your brain that runs the activity of writing your name or anything you're going to do primarily right-handed. So we'll do a test to determine which side is the master side, whether you're right eye dominant or left eye dominant, because this will influence which side you're going to shoot the shotgun over. See, if you're right eye dominant, the gun needs to originate over the middle, your eye needs to originate over the middle of the gun so that it's shooting where you're looking. Okay. Now, if you were left eye dominant shooting off the right shoulder, you'd be primarily looking with this eye, and the gun would be coming from over here, so it's not shooting where you're looking. So that's the first thing we're going to do, is determine what your master eye is. Okay. So the way we do that, if you look out here, we got a clay target on the ground. What I want you to do is I want you to cross your fingers like this and make a small hole with your thumbs, like that. Now, look at that clay target with your hands down here. Focus on the clay target. Now what I want you to do is bring it up with both eyes open and find that clay target in the hole. Now, right away you'll naturally line up with your master eye. Can you still see it? Yes. Okay, but you can't now.
No, I cannot.
Okay, so your master eye, there's only room for one eye to see that clay, so it'll right away naturally line up with your master eye. So, are you right-handed?
I am.
Well, this is good, because you're going to shoot the gun off your right shoulder, so your right eye is going to be in the middle of the gun. There's a good number of people in this world that are left eye dominant but right-handed. A lot of that comes from being taught in school. Teachers see somebody writing with their left hand, a lot of times they'll say, no, you have to use this hand. Well, it's a right-handed world. But if you're naturally left eye dominant and you're right-handed, then you need to learn how to shoot off the left shoulder. So that's why it's important. Right away, we got to know which side you're going to shoot off of. So you're going to be shooting off the right shoulder.
Shooting off the right.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Next thing, we got to get you suited up.
Okay.
All right. So first thing we can do is put a vest on.
Woo! Thank you. Yours?
Not quite yet.
No.
Well, I'm still talking to you. First thing about a shooting vest, if you notice, we have a leather pad that starts here to here. Some of the games you play shooting sporting clays, you have to shoot with a low gun. That means the gun is not up in your face, on your shoulder. And this bit of leather here will allow the gun to move up into your shoulder without getting hung up anywhere. So it's important to use the proper equipment. Okay. So right off we're going to start. Obviously you're right-handed, so we're going to, the pad is on the right side. Next thing you have some earmuffs and you got glasses.
I do.
All right. Starting right off, I need to talk to you just a little bit about the difference between pointing and aiming. Now, as a rule, most folks start with either a BB gun or a .22 rifle. That's the first experience they have shooting anything, is generally with a BB gun or a .22 rifle. Now, what you do with those, it's a single projectile. So you put the barrel and the target together, and you squeeze the trigger, and it's a very deliberate thing. You're getting everything lined up, and you're going to squeeze the trigger very gently. And if you slap the trigger like you do with a shotgun, it'll pull the sights off alignment. Okay. So it's a very deliberate thing. It's a very front brain thing. When I shoot a rifle, I have to talk my way through it. I have to think, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And I'm squeezing the trigger. If I don't do that, I'm just going to slap the trigger like I do with a shotgun. Well, the shotgun, you've got 400 little buddies going out there to do the business for you. It doesn't have to be perfect like it does with that single projectile. It just got to be close. So I look at a target and I just move out in front and pull the trigger. Here, when you're aiming, you get everything very, it's sight alignment and trigger control. It's very deliberate, very methodical, very conscious brained. But when you point a shotgun, see the difference between pointing and aiming? When you shoot a rifle, there's just one thing moving, that's the bullet. But when you shoot a shotgun, the target moves, the gun moves, and the shots move. It's like juggling. You've got three things to keep track of. Well, your conscious brain can do one thing at a time. Your subconscious brain is the multitasker. You can look hard at that bird and just think front, and your subconscious will just steer that gun out in front of the target. So right off the bat, we're going to shoot a few targets on the ground, and that'll be aiming.
That's the deliberate.
Correct.
Okay.
But by the time we get done, I'm going to have you starting low gun and just coming onto the target and pulling the trigger and just kind of being a little reckless about it, and that's the pointing part.
Okay.
So what we'd start right off, we're going to aim, and that's more than anything for you to feel the gun go off. So you understand what it's like, what you're going to deal with as far as recoil is concerned.
Okay.
Okay, and after that, we'll start doing a little pointing, and then we'll move from there to moving targets. We'll start slow and simple,
okay,
and move on from there.
Now, with the pulling of the trigger on this gun that I'm going to be using, is that a hard pull or is it a soft, light?
Well, the best thing about shooting a shotgun, you look at the target when it feels right, you just pull it. You don't have to think about it.
Okay.
Now, the gun that you're going to shoot is a Browning Maxus, and they'll have somewhere around about a 3.5 pound trigger pull.
Okay, let's look at it.
Okay.
Now, this is the one that Scott Grange recommended to me when I was speaking with him earlier.
Yeah, and the good thing about a semi-automatic, this one especially, it's gas operated. Now, a fixed breech gun like an over and under or a side-by-side has, when the gun goes off, nothing moves. But this, when the gun goes off, there's gas bled off to operate a piston. And what happens is you don't get the recoil all at once, you get it in 3 little increments. So instead of one big push, you get 3 little pushes.
Okay.
So this is actually a really nice beginner's gun because it's very soft to shoot. It doesn't have a lot of recoil. Recoil is a thing, a lot of people don't understand it. But if you were to think about it like this, if I was to throw a punch and punch you in the shoulder, there's impact, right? It's whack, it would hurt.
Yes.
But if I put my fist on your shoulder and applied the same force, it would move you. So most folks get in trouble with shooting a shotgun because they hold the gun too loosely and it hits them here and it hits them here, and that's where they get a bruise. But if you just had contact, and I'm not talking about a white knuckle death grip, if you just had contact on your shoulder and your cheek, the gun moves you, and the recoil flows through you, so it doesn't hurt.
So you want the contact.
Correct. You want to be touching. You want to have the butt on your shoulder and your face on the wood, so when the gun goes off, everything moves as a unit instead of that whack. That's where people that have held the gun improperly, shot one time and got hit and thought, yeah, I won't do that anymore. Well, if they held the gun properly, if they had a good start to where somebody that knew what they were talking about showed them how to do it, it wouldn't hurt at all. We're shooting target loads here. It's not like we're shooting a big goose load. I mean, granted, goose loads can push you around some, but more often than not, you've got a lot more clothes on, so there's more cushion there when you're during hunting season, and when there's a goose in front and you're trying to knock that goose down, you forget all about the recoil.
Right.
So
yeah, I've seen a few bruises.
well, yeah, and that's just mostly it's because people aren't holding the gun properly.
All right, well, you're going to teach me how to do it.
Correct, and that's what we're going to shoot these targets on the ground first.
Okay.
So first thing, you want to put your feet in such a position as you're comfortable, lined up the way you're going to shoot.
Okay.
Now, if you think about it, we move as right-handed shooters, which we just determined you are a right-handed shooter. Anything that's coming from the right, we're built to turn that way. We have range of motion to go that way. But as a lefty, if you're anything coming from the left side, we're not really built to turn that way. See, I can move all the way around like this, but I'm at a swing right about there. So foot position really becomes critical on targets that are coming from that side. So right now we're going to shoot one that's straight out in front of us. And so what I want you to do is I don't want you to stand square to it. I don't want your shoulders to be square to it. I need you to be slightly crossbody to it.
Okay.
And what that allows, this is the hand that does the steering of the gun, so this has got to be out front. So if you're slightly canted there, when the gun goes off, see, if you're standing like this, you've got no base. But if you're standing slightly like sideways to the target, when the gun goes off, you've got that back foot, gives you a little structural integrity.
Okay.
Gives you a little base. All right, so that's the first thing we're going to do. Now, when you're right off, your weight needs to be biased forward some. So you know, good rule of thumb,
Fine.
nose over toes.
Okay.
Right,
Oh,
so
nose over toes.
yeah, you
now,
don't want
does it
your-
matter which way my toes are pointing? Because I noticed.
just where they're natural.
Okay.
You know,
Good.
like I said, you're standing kind of catty corner to the target.
Okay.
So-
and we're looking at this
This
river
right
sort
here,
of
yep.
blowing around now.
Yep.
Okay.
So, we're going to do this mounted gun first. We're going to get the gun up on your shoulder, put your hand on the pistol grip here, finger on the trigger. Now, we're just trying to get an idea what it feels like. Now,
Okay.
just, I want you, again, your toes are over here. Look where your nose is. So, lean forward.
I got a rock there. I can scoot towards
Okay,
this.
actually, feet a little closer together. You don't want them any farther apart than the width of your shoulders. Right? Now, you want to be weight forward from the waist, just a little, there you go. Keep that leg straight. And you just want to cant slightly forward from the waist.
Okay.
From the waist. Now,
Okay.
this cheekbone right here on the wood, right there. Now, you should be looking roughly down the rib at that target. Right?
Roughly, yeah.
All right, you ready to go?
I guess. Now, should I have just, can I lift for a minute? This little volley here.
Yeah, this is aiming. Now, when we're looking at the sights, we're aiming. We're not going to do that. We're going to do it one shot. Correct. Right after this, we're not going to. But right now, I want you to feel the gun go off first. I don't want you to think about, you know, I want you to understand that there's not a lot of recoil with this gun. So it's just feeling a shot. That's all we're doing right now. So
Well, my question though is if I was aiming, this little dot, is it supposed to be
go
in
on the
front
target.
of the target or below
well, it
it?
depends on what the target's doing. You know, if the
Okay.
target's going straight away, you put it right on it. So we've got a
Okay.
stationary target, so you're going to put that right on it.
Okay.
Okay?
How am I looking?
Right about there. Looks good. Now,
Okay.
cheek on the...
Hand forward
There you go. All you got to do is point right at it, pull the trigger.
and pull the trigger. Hold on. Oh, it's windy.
Okay, pull the trigger. Look at that, dead center. Now, that's aimed.
Okay.
That's very deliberate. That's very deliberate and very methodical. But when you shoot a shotgun, you don't want to do that. You want to be a little reckless.
Okay.
Now, what we're going to do this time, we got a shell right here. Just notice how that didn't hurt at all?
Felt good.
What we're going to do is we're going to practice, and we got another stationary target, but we're going to do this on the low gun. We're going to start right here. Now, get your weight
Now, which
slightly.
one am I looking at as far as targets?
That one right there. Just pick one. It doesn't matter. We got 3 of them out there.
Okay, okay.
Now,
I'm just going to go for this one.
weight forward from the waist.
Forward.
There you go. Now, bring that gun up with your front hand. Just ease it into your face, and when the gun gets in your face right there, you're going to pull the trigger.
Oh, so you want me to all in one foul movement?
One fell swoop.
Fall-
Yeah,
fall
look-
swoop.
Let me see this. I'll give you a visual. Stand over
Okay,
here.
thank you.
What it's going to look like. Now, what you just did was this. You put the gun in your face, and you got very, just very methodical.
I can get
And
that way.
bang, that's aiming.
Okay.
But what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the target. We're going to forget the little ball thing on the end of the gun. It's called a bead. We're going to look at the target. Now, when you look at that target, forget the gun. Oh, see, you have
the gun.
to understand that it's very accurate. If you could just make the shot come out of the end of your finger, it would be very accurate to just point.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do this time is we're going to look all at the target. We're going to forget the gun, and I want you to just bring it into your face and go bang. Now, what I don't want you to do is go bang.
Okay.
All right, I want you to just look at the target. When the gun hits your shoulder and your face, bang, just like that.
Okay.
All right.
I'll try it. Okay, I'm starting here. Oh.
Yeah. Now you can practice your mount a couple shots. Yeah, we're not going to shoot. I want you to get your feet right. Get your feet closer together.
Wait, yeah,
Closer together. Closer. Now,
Closer,
just a little weight forward from the waist.
Weight forward.
And now, all I want you to do is just shoulder and cheek at the same time.
Am
Bang.
I loaded or no?
No, you're not.
Okay.
This is a dry run.
Okay. So,
That was pretty good, but it was a little fast.
a little shaky.
I want you to just look at the target now.
Okay, I'm looking at it.
Look at the target and just point the gun, ease into your face.
And is that right? Like
Yeah.
out and up?
Yeah,
Is
perfect.
it okay?
Now, you got to get it all the way up into your shoulder pocket and your cheek at the
Okay.
same time. They should arrive at the same time.
Okay.
All right?
1, 2, 3.
Bang. Now, did you see how you had to bring your head down?
Yeah, that's
We don't want to do that. What I want you to do is I want you to lean forward. I want you to lean forward so your face is already there. Bang.
Ah.
Now what you did was 1, 2. See? Anytime you're doing more movement, that's more stuff to do. That's more stuff that can go wrong. I want you to lean forward that a little bit. Now here's the reason why you got to lean forward. If I lean backwards, see how my face is in the gun leaning forward? Now watch what happens as I lean back. Do you see how my face comes off the gun? Well, your eye, your master eye, is the back sight. The higher that is over the rib, the higher your gun's going to shoot. So, in order to be able to get that gun right down your eye, right down the middle of the gun, you have to have your weight forward, just like that. Okay? And all we're going to do is, I'll tell you what, I'll show you how to do this. Get pre-mounted. Get pre-mounted, wait forward. Get the gun up in your face. Get it all up in your face.
Oh, get it up in my face.
Okay, now right there, now without moving anything but your hands, bring the gun down. All right, now right there. This gun doesn't fit you as well as it could. Now from there, just bring it up into your face
and I'm
pull
on the trigger, right?
Yep, just you're ready to go. Now look at that target, bring it up into your face and pull the trigger. Now, you never got it up into your face.
Oh, shoot.
This is why it's so important to get a good start. You've got the idea. You were trying to be a little reckless. That was good. Now, I don't care what happens to the target. I don't care if you hit it. I want to see this come up into your shoulder and your face at the same time.
Okay.
So, practice. Get your mount. Don't pull the trigger or anything. Now, right there, just use your hands. Take the gun down. Leave everything else there. Excellent. Now, look at that target and take your time. Like you turn on a light switch. You got all the time in the world. You don't have to go fast. Just go, when the gun gets in your face, pull the trigger. Take your time. Excellent. Dead target. Now, do you see how you weren't very methodical then? You were just looking at the target. Bang. That's pointing. Pointing is a very important part of this because if you start aiming, what will happen is those three elements, target moving, gun moving, shot moving, you lose track of one of those three elements and generally miss behind. So we're going to shoot a target in a minute that's crossing you and you're going to have to just get right out in front of it and pull the trigger.
How far out in front of it do you get?
We're going to get to that.
We're going to get to that. Okay. I'm jumping ahead.
But right now, we're shooting a target that pretend that they're going straight away because you deal with quite a number of targets that go straight away. When a dog goes on point over a covey of quail, when the covey gets up, they're generally going pretty much away from you. So if you just move to them, this would be a picture. The barrel target alignment would work on a quail. But if you're hunting ducks and they're not coming into your decoys, they're just crossing, they're swinging by looking at the decoys, that's where you're going to have to shoot out in front of them. Okay, so if you're trying to aim at a crossing target, you're not going to hit it. But if you look at it and just point out front, now you're in with a chance. Okay, so I want you to shoot one more target on the ground. Get you loaded here.
Getting my position.
Okay. Now, believe it or not, if we had you have long arms and a long neck, we could use a little bit longer stock.
Okay.
In order to see, right now you're a little crunched up, but you don't have a gun yet. If we had a gun fit to you, this would be a lot more comfortable for you. Okay. But you're doing fine. You can always shoot a shorter gun. It's harder to shoot a gun that's too long.
Okay.
So look hard at that target. Get up in your cheek. Get up in your cheek. Now, right, cheek pressure. Get up here in your cheek.
Do it again without.
Yeah. See, now if you just pulled the trigger when the gun hit your face, you'd have crushed it. Now take it down.
I would have crushed my face.
No, you'd have crushed the target.
Okay.
Now look at the target.
And just shoot.
Just point at the target and try and time everything so the gun gets in your shoulder and in your face at the same time, and you arrive pointing right at the target. Pull the trigger.
Okay.
Dead center. Beautiful. Now, you see how you didn't get up there and go, you just get everything lined up. You just look there, bang, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're ready. We're going to do some moving targets now. We got number 3 here, and it's going out and away from us. And all I want you to do is what you just did. We're going to do the first few mounted gun. We're going to get all mounted up, and when that target goes out, I want you to just get somewhere close to it and pull the trigger. I don't want you to make it perfect. We're throwing something that big around. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's got to be somewhere close.
Okay.
Right?
But you want me to actually start with it already mounted up in my shoulder on my face?
And then we'll do some low gun in a minute.
Okay.
Now there's a reason why I teach everybody to shoot low gun right away. It's kind of like learning how to drive a car. If you learn on a standard that you have to work a clutch and shift, well, it's always easy. You can just drive an automatic, no problem. But if you learn on an automatic and you don't know how to work a clutch, you can only drive automatics, right? If you know the way to mount a gun properly, which is what I'm showing you now, how it comes into your shoulder and your face all at one time, if you learn how to do that first, you can always shoot mounted gun. But I want you to feel the gun go off. I mean, we're shooting a moving target.
Okay.
So, we're going to start with that. We'll shoot a few of them, and then we'll do some low gun.
Okay.
All right, so have a look at that target.
Which one? Oh, you're going to just
Number 3,
right
pull.
now.
There it is, going out. Hit or miss, not important.
Okay.
What we're doing is we're trying to get a feel for how this works. That's all.
Okay.
All right, so stand your nose over your toes. Get that gun up into the pocket. Now, put your eyes out there. Don't look at the end of the gun. Down in here. And when that target goes out, just touch it with the end of the gun.
You want me to follow it?
Yeah, just come up and touch it and pull the trigger.
Okay.
Call pull when you want it.
Oh, okay, sorry. Pull.
Excellent. No. See, what was excellent about that is you didn't aim. Now, I'm going to shoot one. I'm going to shoot one, and I want you to see the timing, right?
Okay.
So, what I'm going to do, get an idea of how long you have to shoot. Now understand that target's maybe doing 50 miles an hour.
Okay.
This shot's doing 900 miles an hour, right?
Okay.
So, get an idea. Pull. Of course I had to miss. Let me see another
Here
shot.
you go.
All right. Pull. There we go. In my defense, it's the first time I'd ever shot this gun.
Okay.
But you know, it doesn't hurt for people to know. You know, everybody misses. Come on, now you try it.
Back.
Did you see how much time I took to get there?
You took a little bit.
Yeah, not a lot,
right?
but you know, yours was blazing fast right off the arm.
Okay, so you're saying I didn't need to be so.
Yeah, feet together.
Such a blazer.
Now, get a hard look and just feel like you're just going to shoot the left side of it. And the target's here, left side.
Oh, okay. So, okay. You want me to call it?
Yeah, wait forward. That's a girl right there.
Okay. All right, pull. Ah!
What? Now, Rome wasn't built in a day. I understand. Now, it's a breezy day, right? Let's not worry about the results yet.
Okay.
Now, a lot of things you're doing well. You saw the target well. You moved a little hard. Think about turning a light switch on. Reach out and turn the light switch. The pace of movement. See, right now you're turning the light switch on that fast. That target comes out, I want you to just ease on up, pull the trigger. Take your time to see it all come together.
Okay.
You don't have to go fast.
It's not going to get too far away.
No, not so far that it can't. If you put this in the right place, that target can't outrun that shot.
All right.
So the way this works, we get a move first, we get a picture second. Now what the picture is where the gun needs to be for that target. Okay?
Okay.
So it needs to be just on the left side because it's going across you just that little bit. So just come up, left side, pull the trigger, and I want you to take about twice as long as that last one. Really.
Okay.
Now, I spent some time telling you before, you know, don't aim, just point. And you're pointing nicely. Now, let's just point a little slower.
Okay.
Wait forward. Basic. There you go. Now, take your time. Starting right about there. Take your time.
All right. Pull.
Now, listen.
Still too fast.
You were that close to killing that target. That was as close as you could possibly be. What you did at the last second, if you'd have just gone and pulled the trigger, the last second you looked at the barrel to see where you were, didn't you? Just nod your head because there's things you can see. When that target went out, you started moving. You were moving with it nice and smooth, but the instant you checked to see where this was pointing, the gun went bang.
All right.
Right, and we've got photographic evidence. Right, we'll be able to check this later. Now, what I want you to do is forget you're pointing the gun. Point your finger and pull the trigger.
Point my finger.
I'm talking about.
Pull the trigger.
Yeah, I mean just point.
All right, got it.
When I steer the gun, I point my finger up alongside the forend, and I just point there and pull the trigger. Now, what you did, there's a lot of good things you did. You just messed up the last 3% of that shot. You checked.
Okay.
Well, that's that aim come in. You're trying to make it right. Well, just be a little reckless. Remember, we're throwing 400 pellets out there. You don't got to be perfect. You just got to be close.
Okay. Cheek.
That's it. Start right about there. Now,
right about there.
take your time. Look, nothing but target.
All right. Pull.
Now, stop and look out there. Look at what you just did.
I hit it.
Perfect. Now, did you notice how you never looked at the gun? You were all about the target. Now, I can tell that because the end of the gun did this. Bang. See, targets move smoothly through the air. When you're looking at that target hard and sharp, all you see is that gun move in perfect harmony with it. Now, we'll run that footage back, and you'll see that gun just perfectly in time with that target coming up. There was no hurry, and you got it there, and your brain said, now you pull the trigger. Most of the pellets left the gun got a piece of that target. Get an idea?
Cool.
Yeah. Now, we're going to make it a little harder.
Okay.
Now, that's one dead mounted gun. What I want you to do now is I want you to start low gun. I want you to start right there.
Oh, okay.
Now, when that target goes out, I want same timing, no different. When that target goes out, get your front hand moving, ease into your face, and point right at it and pull the trigger.
Alrighty.
Right? Weight on your front leg.
Okay.
Cock forward from the waist. There you go, right there. Now, you got lots of time. Don't got to rush.
All right. Pull. Ah.
Did you get your head?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so you went a little too fast. Now,
Yeah.
a lot of people, this is something that folks do.
That putting it in your face is intimidating. Kind of feel like I know you expect to recoil in there. I know you
A
explained
lot
it.
of folks say, I lifted my head on that shot. Okay, I don't agree. I don't think folks lift their head. What you did there is you mounted the gun too fast to allow yourself to complete your mount.
Okay.
So when that target goes out, the next one, I don't care hit or miss. What I want to see is you get some cheek pressure on that gun.
All right, got it.
Other than that, most of what you did there, if I was going to grade that, if I was going to give you a number grade, that was 92% right.
Okay.
Now that's not a bad effort. Now you were looking hard at the target. You made a move. You didn't aim. I mean, you did a lot of things right. And this is where a lot of folks go wrong. They miss a target, and all they do is they grade it on whether they were successful or not. And what happens is they throw the baby out with the bathwater. You did a lot of things right there. Now, if we could just add that last 8%, just a little bit farther up into your face,
okay,
I think you'd see a difference.
All right.
Now, stand correct, the feet a little closer together. Right there, perfect. Now, practice your mount one time, even though, now look at that cheek pressure, look at that. I don't think that's asking for very much, I really don't. Now, let me see you do that at the expense of hitting this target. I don't care if you hit this target.
Okay.
I want to see good form here. I want to see you move that front hand up and just ease into your face and pull the trigger just in a nice, comfortable way. All right, so what we're doing is we're moving smoothly and fluidly at a nice, comfortable pace, and the goal is cheek pressure.
All right.
That's it.
Pull. Oh,
now,
shoot.
Oh, okay, okay. Now stop a second. Stop. Here's what happened.
I got it.
No, hang on.
I didn't get it.
What you did, though, see, now right now this is your at-rest position. You're holding the gun down here like this.
I wasn't at the ready.
It wasn't at the ready position. So now understand what happened there. You've got to bring the gun so much farther up now. It throws your timing off. That target got a lot farther off. Let's get in the ready position.
See that lean? You can get a little hard in the back, no? A little lower back? There?
Well, I guess, I don't know, maybe it's muscles you don't use very often.
Okay, maybe not.
Now, get in your ready position, get up here,
okay.
right about here. We're not right there.
I was going to practice getting my lean on. Okay.
I see.
Okay, yeah,
Now,
you
take
see?
your hands down.
Okay.
I'd like you to have your head just, there you go.
Okay.
So your eyes need to be level.
Okay.
Now, this is your ready position right there.
Oh.
Right there.
Okay.
Get your finger on the trigger. You can do that now you're about to shoot, so put your finger on the trigger.
Oh, on the trigger.
Now, take your time, ease into your mount, cheek pressure, bang.
Okay. Pull.
Now, okay, let me tell you what, that was 98% right. Now that was a broken target. It was a no bird, but you went after the biggest piece, and the way you went after it was just right. You got a good look, eased up, you had cheek pressure. Your job was to get cheek pressure. You got cheek pressure. Now, the way this happens, we get these habits to develop here. You know, moving the gun with that front hand, easing into your cheek. How you do that, when it becomes a habit, see right now you have to learn it consciously. So you're going to try and execute it consciously. Well, over time, after you do this enough, you'll be able to just look at the target and that move will happen. You know, it's called muscle memory.
Right.
It's anything else you do in sports, you know, you practice the moves, right? Well, this is the move. That move you just made was very good. It was solid. Okay. And if we can make 4 more moves just like that, at the 5th one, we'll start working on a picture. Okay? So we got 4 more shots. Ready?
So my starting is here.
Excellent.
And here.
Look at your feet together, you weight forward.
I'm good.
Now, show me some cheek pressure.
Okay. Pull.
Now, almost. I think you're almost to your cheek that time. One of the things, I think these earmuffs are
a bit big.
Well, no, they're ticking a little bit down here. Sometimes the way people's ears are positioned on their head makes it so that the earmuffs tap a little bit. See, with this type, I can actually pull them up a little bit.
Or I can pull this one up. Here, hold this.
Okay, got it.
It pushes out a little.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah, you get the same kind of wires I do.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's kind of. I mean, we still want to have that.
I think it'll be fine.
Protection, right?
Yeah, I think you'll be fine. All right. Remember, we're still working on cheek pressure.
All right. Forward.
Right about there.
Oh.
You good?
Well, if I were here.
There you go. Show me some cheek pressure. Move your hand in on the forehand just a tiny bit. Right there.
Okay. All right, pull.
Now, you could not have missed any closer to that target. You were inches away from that. So, there's a good move. And you actually had some cheek pressure. Try it again.
Do you need more cheek pressure?
Nope, that was good.
Okay.
Remember, we got 3 more moves just like that.
Okay. Okay, pull.
So here's what I did. This is a little bit of misdirection. When I said to you, we need 4 more moves just like that, I made you think about nothing but a move, because at the 5th one, then we're going to start working on where you're putting the gun, right? Well, here's your second good move. Now, you actually had a little bit of a hang up. Back of the gun caught on the way up, but you fixed it. You cleared it and got cheek pressure. What happened to that target?
Busted.
Creamed it. So, even though you had a little bit of a problem, you still, you put the gun in the right place, and that target couldn't outrun that load of 8s. Couldn't do it. Center punched it.
Cool.
Now, the way this works, now you're brand new, and here you're already breaking targets. If you can pay attention to moving properly, and that's driving that front hand so the end of the gun goes right to that target, keeping your head still and just easing up into your cheek pressure and doing it all at a nice, comfortable pace. See, everybody goes too fast. See, they want to break that target, and this one's getting away. It's getting away. It's getting away. I want to go fast. Fight that, because if you put the gun in the right place, it can't outrun that load of 8s.
All right.
Now, this is a going away target. You can shoot right at these. Now we're going to make it a little tougher. We got this number 4 target over here. Have a look at this.
Okay.
Say pull when you want it.
Pull.
He's going out across here in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. Can't shoot right at this one. Now, this target is going away, and where I've got you starting your gun, you're moving to it. Now, whichever way you move the gun, you generate momentum on that plane. So you might think you're shooting right at it, but actually the momentum has carried the gun a little bit in front. This target here, as it rolls across in front of you, you can't shoot anywhere near it. You got to have a gap. Now, I'm not talking about, looking at Rhode Island and shooting California.
Okay.
I'm talking New York, New Jersey kind of thing. Just a little gap. Got to be a little in the front side. Let's practice. I'm going to have you shoot one of these pre-mounted. Call pull.
Oh, you want me to pre-mount it?
Yeah,
and then
just for
follow
one.
it and shoot?
Just for one. Yeah. Now, I want you to watch it come out. It's
Okay.
going to come up like this, and I don't want you to go to the bird. I want you to go to the target's line. Now, the line is the track it's flying in.
Okay.
So we're not going to shoot the target. We're going to shoot the line a little bit in front.
Got it.
Okay. It should feel like you're going to miss it a little front. Now,
Okay.
let's do call pull. When you point out in front, you say bang when you think it's right.
Oh, I'm not going to actually pull it.
We're not actually shooting the target. You just, when you think you're in front in the right spot, call pull.
Pull.
Say bang. All right, no bird. Try it again.
Pull.
All right, this will be a good one. Be a good one.
Pull. Bang.
Okay, that was about 8 times the lead you need.
Much.
Oh, miles in front.
Okay.
I'm talking about just, if the width of the target, like maybe 4 of them in front, right?
Okay.
So, the target say,
Okay.
now,
I was trying to go ahead of where you said I would miss it, because I
fair enough.
Go a little too
Yeah.
far.
So you got an idea. That was too much.
Thanks, Andy.
Okay. Half as much. Half as much, probably.
Probably a quarter.
Less. A quarter.
Quarter as much. Yeah, like that. At the end of the gun, about like that.
Okay, let's try that again. Pull. Bang.
Now, that would have been right in the hunt, I'm thinking. So let's try that. All right?
Right in the hunt. Do I start up?
Yeah,
What do you
we'll shoot
call
a couple
that?
pre-mounted.
Pre-mounted.
Yep.
Okay. Pull.
Now, it brings up an interesting point. See how fast you went at the start? What happens on the front end of the stroke affects the back end. Now, here's what you did. When that target came out, you moved so hard and fast, now you're way out over here, and you're waiting, waiting.
Okay.
It's like turning that light switch on. When that target comes out, just nice and easy, get out in front and pull the trigger, right? It's important that you move nice and gentle and get all that hair reined in. All right. There we go. Try it again. Now, everything at a nice, comfortable, just turning the light switch on pace.
Okay.
Take your time.
All right. Pull. Bang.
Oh, you had one. You're ready to go on that one.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that would have been good too.
I had that
When you
too.
said bang, that looked pretty good. Try it again.
Oh dear. Okay. That got me laughing. Pull.
What do you think?
I thought that was good.
Now, believe it or not, the one you did just previous.
It was
Let's
better.
move back just
It felt better.
Well,
My
what was
bang.
better about it was a gentler move. Now, what happened there? You moved a little fast, but you watched the target until it got closer to the gun, and you pulled the trigger. Nice. Now, let's make 4 moves, nice and gentle, and then the 5th one we'll start nice and gentle. Take your time.
Pull.
No bird.
Oops.
This will be a good one.
Pull. Ooh.
What do you think?
That was better.
You did a nice job. Look how gentle that move was. As that target rolled out, you just went right after it. You were in no hurry. just got a little on the front side and pulled the trigger. I mean, that's how it works. I'm telling you, what you just did on that was 100%.
Nice.
Nothing about that I could have said to make it any better. Target rolled out and you went right to where you're supposed to, and that was pointing, not aiming. Now, we're gonna make it a little tougher. Now we're gonna do this low gun.
Okay.
Low gun.
Okay.
Practice your mouth for me one time. Don't call for a target. Now, first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna move the way the bird's going. Whatever that target's doing, the front hand's doing. So you're going to use the front hand, and then you're going to ease into your mount like that.
Oh,
okay?
So you're easing as you're moving.
I'll tell you, I know it's loaded.
Let's show it. Let's see.
Now, the way this works, is there's two parts of this. There's the mount, and then there's putting the gun where it needs to go in relation to the target. What we're going to try and do here is do both at once. So we're going to move the gun toward where it needs to be, and at the same time, I'm going to mount the gun.
Okay.
Right? So whenever you can combine two elements and make one element out of them, it's going to be a lot easier to do. That's what it looks like. Pull. All right, now, do you see all the time I took to get there?
Yeah, can I see that one more time?
Sure, another shell.
Oh, here.
It doesn't take, what happens now is you're getting a mental template of how, the timing of this by watching it. Now, get an idea how much time you have to do this. Pull. All right? I mean, there's no hurry at all. If your front hand is taking you the way that bird's going, it's just the easiest thing to just get out in front of it.
Just the easiest thing.
Really is. Believe me, if a guy like me can figure this out, anybody can. All right, I'm going to leave the action open. I want you to practice your mount a couple times for me.
Okay, so I'm
going
here.
that way.
I'm here. Am I here?
Yeah, you don't want to start.
Down here?
You don't want to. Yeah, that's a good spot.
Okay.
You don't want to start right on the trap because as soon as you see the target, it's going to be past you, and you're going to be coming from behind it. This one, you want to watch it come out and be in front of it the whole time, and just kind of come to that spot, not letting the target catch the barrel. Does that make sense?
Will you repeat?
Sure. When this target here, as soon as you see it, it's out past you.
Right.
And you're moving to it and generating gun speed. And that works fine for that target. This one, I want you to start out in front of it, and when it comes out, I want you to keep the barrel. I want you to keep the target over here. And as it comes out, I want you to just gently go out to a gap and pull the trigger. Okay. This is called sustained lead. We're going to stay in front of it. We're not going to let the target get ahead of us. Okay. Right?
Now, but where I'm starting from, I'm not starting from.
Well, if you point right at the trap.
Oh, I am.
Well, you're pretty close to the trap. I want you to start right in the middle of this bush here. Point there so you can see the target come off the arm.
In the middle of the bush?
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Now you're going to do this.
Now, am I loaded? I forgot.
You're loaded, but you don't have the action shut, so we're just practicing this one. All right, so right there.
Okay.
Call pull.
Pull.
Now, that was you had too much lead, but it was a pretty good effort. No, look at how gentle you moved. The way you moved the gun to that target was pretty darn good. Now, if I can get you to make that move right along, it will be easy. Move back just a little. If I could get you to make that move pretty steady, it'd be easy to get the picture. So we're going to try and make that move 4 times. We're going to shoot these targets, right? From a low gun position, right there. Now, as that target comes out, just stay in front of it.
Okay. Pull.
Cheek pressure, cheek pressure. Nice. No, that was good. You made a nice move.
Okay.
It could be a little smoother. If you see the target better, you'll move more in time with it.
Okay.
Starting from right about that bush. Take your time. You got lots of it. Remember what I looked like moving?
All right, pull.
Not bad, but that wasn't as good as the move before it.
No, it wasn't.
That one, see, you're really trying to break this target. You want to break your target. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm going to break the target. See how hard you moved?
Okay.
This is like, think about turning the light switch on. What you just did, turn the light switch on kind of with your muscles. So you don't use your muscles as much as you use your eyes in this. I mean, you have to use a certain amount of muscle, but it's more about getting a good hard look and just easing out in front of that target and pulling the trigger. It's a real gentle kind of a thing.
So if I'm good hard looking here, it's coming out. It's like, as it comes out.
That's an excellent move. What you just did there, that's what I want you to do. What you just did is what I want you to do.
Okay.
See how just smooth and fluid out in front.
Okay.
Now, the way this works, we get a move first, we find a picture second. So if I can get you to make that move and get a feel for that move, what happens is your subconscious will start to get an idea what that feels like, and you won't have to think about it anymore. It's just, that'll be the move you make.
Okay.
So that's why I say, let's make 4 of those moves. That way we can concentrate on feeling that effortless move. And after we get that a few times, so your subconscious really kind of has an idea what we're trying to do, then we can start thinking about where we're putting the gun. All right, so it's move first, picture second. So all I care about is just smooth and fluid cheek pressure.
Move, picture, cheek pressure.
Right now, move, cheek pressure.
Move, cheek pressure.
Smooth, ease into your face, pull the trigger.
Okay, lean.
Take your time. Smooth and fluid.
All right, sorry, I was
Right
thinking
about
about that. Okay,
Smooth and fluid. Take your time.
pull.
Gentle. Now, you realized that you didn't have the gun up in your face.
Yeah.
I saw you trying. Now what this
I
tells
feel
me,
like my rotation was like, whoa, no.
that's why we're concentrating on the move. You didn't do the move exactly right, but we're focusing on the move right now. So here's what happens. When you get a little tense and you're trying to do stuff, your muscles tense up, you pull the gun in. The gun hangs up back here. If you're relaxed, everything kind of flows up into position. All right, so relax. There's no hit or miss here. It's just learning how it feels to move smooth and fluid.
Okay.
It was fairly smooth, fairly fluid. Take your time. Nice and easy, nice and gentle.
Pull.
Ease up into your face. Now, slower. No, what you did was good. I mean, how you moved, how the gun came up, that was solid. I want you to do it slower. I want you to do it. See, you were just a little fast, a little aggressive. Okay. This target is a fairly sedate target. Okay. You need to move in time with it.
Sailing.
Yeah.
All right. Here, right?
Right about the middle of that bush. Now, nice and take your time.
Pull.
Slow motion. Now, for a move, that's pretty darn good. I mean, it's starting to get some shape to it. It's starting to be coherent. If you could give me 3 more of them just like that, the picture will sort itself out.
Okay.
Okay?
Get the move.
Okay. Take your time. Take your time. Smooth and fluid. Nice and gentle. Slow motion.
Pull.
Slow motion. Ease into it. Now, what I just said a second ago is that it's starting to take shape. It's starting to have some form to it. You know, a sculptor starts with a hunk of clay, and the more they work it, the more it starts to take shape. Well, this is the same thing. As soon as you start to get an idea what it feels like and the timing that it takes, then everything starts to take on some organization. What you just did there, you moved smooth and fluid, and you saw the target nice and hard, and you just gave it a little gap, pulled the trigger. See, if you make a good move, your brain will sort out where the gun needs to be. Every time you make a good move, a good consistent move to that target, and miss it, your brain actually sees where the pellets go. And at some point it says, oh, it needs to be over here. See, good form is the most useful tool for self-diagnosis, and that's what we're working on here. It's all about a move. Smooth and fluid that front hand, smooth and fluid, smooth and fluid. Well, so when I tell you I want to see 3 more moves like that, somewhere along the line your brain says, oh, it needs to be here. And that's what happens. You know, it's like golf. They talk about the repeatable swing. Mm-hmm. In shooting a shotgun, anybody can jump 10 feet out in front of a target, you know, stop the gun stone dead, pull the trigger and kill it once. Problem is, to do that twice is very difficult. The timing is so critical. If you're moving along smoothly and fluidly with the gun, I mean, the job isn't breaking the bird. The job is putting the gun in the right place. And if you're moving that front hand and the gun's moving in time with that target, it's easy to find that right barrel-target relationship. What you're learning right now is how to stand, how to hold the gun, how to move the gun, how to ease into your face. There's so many things that are happening right now. So you're a blank slate, and the things that we're talking about right now are going into your brain. So pretty soon this will be hardwired. It'll get into your brain as solid. This is how this should feel. If people don't get a lesson right off the bat, or if they start incorrectly, they'll start making these harsh, choppy moves, and they get enough practice making harsh, choppy moves, that'll be what feels right to them. Well, by golly, that's the hardest thing to fix. If you could just learn how to make a nice, effortless move right off the bat, then your brain says, well, that's how it's supposed to be. Here it is. That last move you made, I couldn't say anything to make that any better. Target rolled out, and you just went out in front of it, nice and in time. Every pellet left the gun got a piece of that target, didn't it? Yeah. Didn't it feel good?
It did.
Yeah, you want to try it again?
Felt better than the previous 2.
Well, nothing succeeds like success, you know? All right, smooth and fluid, get a hard look, and take your time. See how much slower you're moving now? Mm-hmm. Just ease out in front, pull the trigger.
Pull.
Now, not a bad effort, you just had too much on it. Too much gap, too much forward allowance.
Okay.
Now, just a little on the front side. Nice and relaxed.
Pull.
What do you think?
Too much picture.
Too much gap and not enough cheek pressure either. Your head's off the
cheek.
You got to have some cheek on there.
Okay.
All right, now, understand, you just did one perfect. Now, here's where a lot of people go wrong. You saw the picture, you saw where you put the gun, you know what the move feels like, you got a lot of information there. And what you're trying to do now is you're not trying to steer the gun properly. You're trying, because it was cool to hit that target, wasn't it? God, it was cool. I mean, I love hitting a target. That's the best thing. Well, it is.
All right.
But if you try and break the target, you're not thinking about the move in the picture.
Okay.
You got to move, you got to see a picture. Now, let's let go of trying to break the target.
Right.
Take your time, just ease out a little on the front side, pull the trigger. There you go, good. Not really.
All right, pull.
Excellent. Now, look at how you got in the gun even. Now, here's what's happening. On that last, no, you got in the gun. You got it up in there. Here's the thing. All of a sudden, you realize that getting out in front is a good thing.
Too far.
You're just doing too much of a good thing. That's all. All I need you to do is now shoot 9 o'clock on the bird. See what happens when you start freeing up your move and you're not trying so hard with your muscles. See, muscles, they arrest the gun's momentum. So right now you're moving smooth and fluid, you're getting in the gun, I mean, you're just moving smoothly, and that's generating more forward allowance. So now I want you to just come out and just touch 9 o'clock on the bird.
All right.
Right?
I got it.
Well, we'll see. Nice and gentle.
All right, pull. Oh, I waited. Yeah. Ooh, cheek too.
Now,
let's try that again.
Well, now hang on. Okay, understand. When people start to do something like this, right? This is kind of an intricate thing to learn how to do. You're really doing well. Honestly, you're going good. But you're starting to get an idea what this is supposed to feel like, and you've had some success, and now it's like, I want to break that target in the worst way. Focus on the fundamentals. Okay. Focus on smooth, fluid cheek pressure. Smooth and fluid cheek pressure. Really, you got to keep that going.
Cheek.
Yeah. See, you learn this consciously.
Sorry.
You learn this consciously, but you have to execute it subconsciously. Right? So now focus on that smooth, fluid, effortless move, and just 9 o'clock.
Cheek. I have to forget the cheek.
That's part of the fundamentals.
Okay. Smooth cheek. 9 o'clock. Pull. I didn't even bother.
Because you didn't have cheek pressure.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't bother.
Fine. We're learning.
And the lean.
And you know, that was not really your fault because the wind kind of forced that one down.
Well,
So,
thank you for that.
there you go. You know, missing's part of it. You know, the thing that most folks have a problem with, that lack of success. Nobody likes to miss. You know, you failed. But if you learn from the miss, it's not a waste of time. George Digweed's, you know, arguably the greatest shooter in the world. I mean, you can say that because he's won, I think, 16 world championships now. I was talking to George one time, and a fella came up and asked him, he says, George, how come you're so good at the long ones? Obviously, this was England. You know what George said? He says, it's because I've missed an awful lot of them. Now, think about it, I've missed an awful lot of them. What he's saying is if you miss a target in enough different places, there's only one place left to be. So missing's part of this. Don't worry about missing, just try and do it consistently. Move that gun the same way every time, and at some point you'll realize, oh, it needs to be here.
Not try to miss the target consistently.
Try to move the gun consistently.
All right. Okay. I got to work on my move.
Cheek pressure. Now.
Yeah, cheek.
Get that head level. Right there. Yeah, right about there.
Okay. Pull.
I'm not talking about good. I just watched here. That was solid. That was a good effort. You had cheek. You brought the gun up nice. Had cheek pressure. See, focus on those fundamentals right here. That's going good. That's it. Eyes level. Right there. There you go. Cheek pressure.
Pull.
Now, that shot, we call that, where I'm from, we call that a company duck. All the pellets are in the head, none in the breast. You feed that duck to company. Yeah.
Why would
you hit it? You just hit it right on the front of the you know, I mean, just you shot him in the head.
Okay.
You know, another old saying, you know.
Almost too far ahead.
Think about it. If you shoot a duck in the butt, there's no vitals there. It's all on the front end. When you're taking the front end off a target, you're hitting stuff in the head. Now, if you're hitting it in the head, the dog doesn't have to work to find it. It's laying there dead.
Right.
So too much lead, you know, if you're going to miss, be on the front side of it.
Okay,
you know,
so that wasn't bad then.
Not a bit. No, I'm telling you, it's a good shot. Even though you didn't turn it into an ink spot. I mean, who wants to eat a duck that's shot full of holes?
Okay.
If you can shoot them in the head like that, that's much better. You know, you don't tear the meat up too bad. You know, on the other side of things, you know, there's an old saying, you got to shoot them where they peep, not where they poop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where they peep. Okay.
That's where they peep, what you just did there.
All right, so it was good then.
Yeah, yeah. You think you got one more in you?
Oh, yeah.
All righty, let's see it. See how nice and gentle you move? How smooth and fluid? How much cheek pressure you had?
I gotta remember cheek. That's
cheek is good.
Where I'm at right now.
Eyes level.
Eyes level.
There you go.
This?
Right there, right there.
Which one? Okay. It's windy. It's gonna mess with me. All right, pull.
We need to call it quits on that, right there.
Oh, really? Quit
See, here's the thing. The last thing you do is the first thing you remember. What you just did there was just, I mean, that's well ahead of the curve, what you just did. Now, think about the timing you took. Your target rolled out, you're smooth and fluid, you found the picture you're looking for, and you drove all the shot through the middle of that target. Now, the last thing you do is the first thing you remember. Now, if you walk off with that fresh in your mind, that's what marinates in your head. That's what marinates in your brain. The next time you come out here, you'll have an idea. The last thing you did was 100% right. There was nothing about that shot that I could have said to make it any better. That was 100% of what I'm trying to show you. Target rolls out, front hand moves in time with it. You just ease out into your picture, pull the trigger. With everything about it was nice and relaxed and gentle. That's how you shoot a shotgun. It's not this, you see guys doing that all the time. Nah, it's you flow along with it. That's easy. That's how you shoot a shotgun. The next, yeah, you did excellent. That's a superb job.
All right, so your gun is back, and I couldn't ask for a lesson with a better person.
Wasn't that great?
First time.
Yeah, enjoyed that. Enjoyed that very much.
Thank you. It was awesome.
You did really good. I'm serious. I'm not making that up.
Really great instruction.
Well, that last one was just right. I'm you know, when the first time you have a lesson it's kind of like, you know, your first impression. Now, think about all the laughs you had here. I mean, you didn't expect to hit the first target you shot at, did you? You didn't. But you got it as you went. You know, you started hitting and you tore up a number of them. So, you know, you had to work for it. Well, this one here now, I've got a feeling, you know, that you really know how this works. I think that if I left you to shoot a whole box of shells at that target, you'd hit way more than you missed. You know, and that tells me that you grasp some of what we worked on here, and that's really the key to it. If you understand how the move feels, that's your first thing here, is learning how to move that front hand, how to stand properly, and just everything about how it goes to that flow, come to that target. See, that's all I wanted you to get a feel for was the flow of it. And there, I mean, all we were working on was a move. We didn't really talk ever about where you were putting the gun. I mean, a little bit here and there, but for the most part, once you got the move down, the picture fell into place right behind it.
Wow.
Yeah, excellent job.
Take it from me, first lesson with Andy Duffy.
Okay, we saw the training film, and again, Andy took time from a very busy schedule at Zone 7. So tell us, Andy, what is it like to start with someone like Gretchen who's never maybe shot a gun before?
You know, in a lot of respects, it's easier to start with somebody that doesn't have any bad habits. You know, basically Gretchen was a blank slate. You know, she just pretty much does what you ask her to do, and you know, as you're inputting information, it's like anything else, you know, garbage in, garbage out. So you know, if you give them good information, it generally doesn't take too very long to get somebody that's new to hit a target, and that's really the key. If you get them to hit targets, they're having fun, and then they want to do more.
And it was funny, too, because Gretchen actually hit one, and then Andy took the gun from her, and Andy missed one. So, but there's a good lesson learned there that I don't care what level of shooting you're on, and correct me if I'm wrong, everybody misses something.
Well, the key is to keep it to a minimum. You know, in trap or skeet, those are games of perfection. You really have to hit all of them to make it into the shoot-off. And, you know, that's where the difficulty lies. I mean, there's many challenges to trap and skeet. I don't mean to downplay those games, but sporting clays, if you miss a target, it's not the end of the world. Very often it is in a skeet shoot. So, you know, it's just the best thing to do is to keep it to a minimum.
Right. You know, I've said this in the past, and just correct me again if I'm wrong on it, but there's a lot of good shooters out there who offer instruction, but there's very few professionals who are good shooters and good instructors. There's an art to what you do, Andy. And I think, and I'm going to stick my neck out here, and I think a lot of people are going to agree with me. You have a way of communicating. We just saw it. You have a way of communicating with people, and that has to be the key to good instruction.
I think that one of the things about my shooting, it didn't come natural to me. I'm a reasonably good athlete, but nothing about shooting was something that, I just picked it up and did well right off the bat. I had to learn my way through every step. And I think that allows me to relate more to the average shooter that isn't, particularly gifted. It wasn't enough for me to just be able to break a target. I had to understand why it works. And from that comes the ability to relay the information. And it's true, you can't just have one way of saying something. You got to be able to say it 6 or 7 different ways, and a lot of times until it makes sense.
Yeah, until a light comes on. And I have had the fortune of having some instruction by some very good top shooters, and some of them, I have to tell you, they're excellent shooters, but they really can't communicate what they're doing to someone who doesn't shoot well. So picking out a good instructor, I think, is where I'm going with this. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's one of the top shooters in the country, and Andy's being the exception, of course, but it means going to an instructor to know how to instruct, and like Andy said, sometimes you got to say things 3 or 4 times, and then you see the light bulb go on.
Different ways, not just the same way.
Right.
It's a funny thing, the people that I have had lessons from, that I learned the most from, I generally could beat with a shotgun. So it doesn't have to be somebody that can, that has a mastery of the skill. It's really somebody who's a student of the game. If you have somebody that really is passionate about it and have studied every aspect of it, very often they're a better instructor than somebody who's a master class shooter.
Okay, that probably is as much as we can say on that subject. Let's find out something personal about Andy. How many of you knew, and he doesn't have his dog with him, I don't know why, and we'll ask him why he doesn't have his dog with him, but how many of you knew that he raises and trains hunting dogs? This is something that's been in your family for a while. This is how actually you got started shooting, huh?
Yeah, my dad's a very avid bird hunter, and I grew up with Labs, Chesapeakes, and English Setters. Those are his favorite breeds. I always said that he got along with the Chesapeake best because they had very similar temperaments. But yeah, it's something I really enjoy. Labs at the moment, and Setters to a lesser extent. But I've got a little English bred lab. Her name is Molly. She's 52 pounds, and I just generally take her everywhere with me. I was going to bring her down here, but it got a little too late, and decided not to this time. But I sure miss her.
Yeah. Actually, when I first saw Molly, I'm trying to remember now. I think I first met Molly maybe up at the Lobster Blast. I mean, she was just really a pup. Maybe it was even earlier than that, but she was really a pup.
Yeah, I think she was like 14 weeks old or so when you first met her. Yeah, she just fit in your coat pocket. It was, but she's. Like I say, she's 52 pounds. When she picks up a goose, you expect her back end to come off the ground. She'd just be out of balance. But she's got a lot of heart, and it's really fun to work her. She's got 2 legs on a senior hunter now, so we'd like to get the last 2 legs just to get her senior title.
Okay, Andy, thank you very much for helping out Gretchen. Thank you for being here. I know you're shooting well. We've been looking at the scoreboard. Okay, all right. Tell us about a windy day.
Oh, I can't. I wish I could say it was the wind. I've just not been able to focus well the last couple of days. I had a pretty decent round in the 5-stand, but I tell you, from there, it's just a mystery. Every now and then, it's like you just want to feel your shells, see if they're heavy or not. Like you're shooting dust at them, and sometimes you have a shoot like that, you just got to go with it. If you start thinking too much about it, it can perpetuate it. Sometimes you're just not on your A game. You're not.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And I would say this too, and I think the difference between, and I've said this before, the difference between a champion, the guy that we will see HOA, which Andy has been several times, but the difference between the HOA guy and the guy who comes out here and tries hard is how he gets through the bad days and how he gets through the misses, right?
Absolutely. I think it's a test of character. Anybody can be gracious and and shoot well when everything's going their way. When you have a bad go and it just seems like everything's going against you. We had some stands in the wind that were hard. We had some sun issues. There's the way I look at it, it's like paying bad luck dues. Some shoots go your way and some shoots go against you. But when they go against you, at some point the pendulum's going to swing back around your way. And it's just bad rounds are part of it. If you're scared of them, if you're intimidated about having one, you're going to have more of them. So being a little thick-skinned and know that not every day is going to be peaches and cream. You just you take it on you take your lumps and you carry on. And really what it is the toughest guys carry on. The guys that aren't cut out to be champions decide they want to do something else and have fun. The guys that gut it out learn lessons from their bad mistakes, from their bad tournaments, and come back stronger next time.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what I've noticed in the game, and you've been in it much longer than I have. But you see guys come in and they'll shoot for 2, 3, maybe 4 years. They get kind of frustrated with what they do, and all of a sudden they're picking up another sport. The guys you see go to the winner's circle have been in it year after year after year. They stick with it. They shoot every game at every shoot. I mean, they don't just come out and shoot the main. They're shooting everything. They're having a lot of fun. They're serious about their shooting, and they go through the bad days.
I think everybody does it for different reasons. I have friends back home that, they've got like a Lazy Susan there, and they give it a spin and pluck a gun off it and go shoot it. And that's their fun, is to shoot different guns all the time, different gauges, side by sides. If that's their gig and that's what they're having fun, then the score and their placement in a tournament isn't really the biggest thing. But the people that want to have, make their mark and make the U.S. team and travel abroad and do well and for their country, those are the folks that are deadly serious about it, and they, every time they come out here, they're putting their best effort in. And what you see overall is you see ups and downs, but over time you see more ups and downs, and that just really comes down to desire. The people that want it the most learn the most, and they develop a certain amount of tenacity, certain toughness in a tournament that even if they have a bad stand, they don't quit. They just carry on, and that's really. I swear, there's a couple stands out there today. I just wanted to put the gun in the car and go home, go hide behind a bush and have a little cry, it's just, but, I've been there before and come out of it. So, and that's the thing that folks really don't know, is that when you've been low like that and you've been hammered on, the next time you come back and do well, it makes that accomplishment sweeter. And that's really, I've been there a number of times, and it's just, you come out of it knowing that you're tougher than the game.
Right.
And that's, a lot of times just trying all the way through, meaning you never just threw the gun up and pulled the trigger knowing you weren't even trying. I mean, I tried for every shot, and that's victory enough sometimes.
Right. Okay, let's ask another question. And I ask this about every 6 months. Do you have any suspicions? I mean, do you do any superstitious about anything? You don't change your underwear for a week, something like that?
Well, yeah, well, I was born on Friday the 13th. I bet you didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know
July
that.
13th. It was a Friday. It was 1962. It was Friday the 13th. So yeah, I've got plenty of them. But see, if I tell you about them, then other people will know about them, and you can't have anybody else knowing your foibles. You can't have them knowing your.
Okay, so it's not the underwear one though.
No. I just quit wearing that years ago.
It doesn't wear it at all now. Thanks, Andy. Appreciate it. Good luck, pal, and we'll see you in the winner's circle.
Thank you.